between SUVs that pull 1.00 grams of lateral grip on the skid pad and sedans that hit 60 miles per hour as quickly as a Ferrari, the definition of a sports car is under constant threat. Modern tires, turbochargers, and transmissions mean all manner of vehicles can now perform like sports cars, and yet the form factor, lightweight, compact minimalism, is increasingly unpopular. Take, for example, this 2017 Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe, a £3,600 car called a sports coupe by its maker that drives more like a luxury sedan. The new Class Coupe is a larger car than its predecessor, a move made as much for style as it is for interior space. Of the additional 3.1 inches between the wheels, 2.4 inches were inserted between the firewall and front axle. Compared with the car it replaces, the new Class Coupe appears more modern, more expressive, and more expensive. However attractive it is, the Coupe isn't as eye-catching as the Class sedan from which it's derived, at least to some of us. The two-doors character line extends farther over the rear axle and remains flatter, so that the Coupe doesn't have the slinking, reverse edge profile that makes the forward door so distinctive. Power without all of the performance. A 2.0-litre turbocharged four-cylinder pairs with either rear-wheel drive or 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Vibrations are restrained and the soundtrack is subdued and refined. But it doesn't rev with much enthusiasm and feels slower than its rated 241 horsepower and 273 lb-ft of torque. Like its Ford or sibling, we expect the C300 Coupe to be a few tenths behind its quickest competition with a predicted 0-60 time of just over 6 seconds. The C300 will launch in spring of 2016 with a 7-speed automatic, but that gearbox is merely a bandage until a new 9-speed unit replaces it a year later. The 7-speed transmission times its shifts smartly, yet during full throttle kickdowns, gear changes are slower than those of the 8-speed automatic BMW favors. We haven't sampled the 9-speed in this car, so we can't say whether the 2018 model year C300 will cure that ailment. Both the 7 and 9-speed transmissions are capable of a fuel-saving sailing function where, to reduce friction in both eco and comfort modes, the engine disconnects from the driveline while the vehicle is coasting. Whereas Porsche's dual-clutch PDK gearbox achieves the same thing by opening the relevant clutch, Mercedes' torque converter automatics either open the lock-up clutch or shift the transmission into neutral, depending on the vehicle speed. The trade-off for the small fuel economy gain puts a subtle hiccup in the throttle response as the transmission remeshes with the engine. If it irks you, know that the sailing function is deactivated in Sport and Sport Plus modes. The luxury of comfort C300 test car came equipped with the optional Airmatic suspension with air springs and electronically adjustable dampers. The high-tech equipment rides comfortably and handles predictably, if not exactly nimbly. Don't mistake that for a full endorsement, though. The air suspension will add about $1,200 to the price tag, and its chief advantage, the ability to level the ride height based on how weight is distributed in the car, is of limited value in a vehicle that won't tow or haul much more than 150 pounds worth of kids in the back seat. The sloping roofline won't accommodate adults in the rear, but as far as rear seat space in two-door cars goes, the Class Coupe is quite generous. The C300's chief selling point is its beautifully designed and richly appointed cabin. Passengers are spoiled with excellent seats, stylish trim, and top drawer fit and finish. Unfortunately, Mercedes' command infotainment system threatens to spoil things, as it's more difficult to use than the competition's offerings. The click wheel requires cryptic combinations of nudges, presses, and scrolls to navigate the menus, and the touchpad often registers unintentional taps. At this point, Mercedes-Benz would be wise to adopt the basic control and menu scheme that BMW's iDrive and Audi's MMI have established as the de facto industry standard. The Goldilocks solution: Mercedes will offer 8 different engine choices for the Class Coupe in Europe, and yet the company won't divulge what will fill the yawning gap in price and performance between this circa $40,000 C300 and the $70,000 AMG C63 model here in the US at a minimum. A C450 AMG Sport Coupe seems like an obvious and necessary addition. If the C450 AMG Sport Sedan is any indication, a two-door with the same powertrain and a similar chassis setup would live up to our performance expectations for a sports coupe. The C300 makes for a nice luxury coupe, but if it's sport you're after, there are plenty of more fun $40,000 two-doors available.